What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to another episode of Tester Tuesday. Tester Tuesday is a weekly series of Scentsy review videos where I get to discuss how a scent works for me, smells to me, and what I think of it, and that might help you make an informed purchasing decision. Now, typically we discuss 2 scents each week, but now we are doing the spring and summer new release scents, and the 3 additional scents of the month that it made it in from last year. So for the next 4 weeks total, including this week, we will be discussing 3 scents each week. So last week we had quite a few votes, 438, and I must say, after I've warmed all the scents, I had a scent that was a little bit of an average type scent. I had a scent that was kind of a surprise, and I had a scent that was a little bit frustrating. So let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Pink Rhubarb Sugar. This is a pretty pinkish red colored wax. This one had 29% of the vote. On cold sniff, it's about a medium intensity. It's a new release, like I said, and Scentsy has put this in the fruity section. So the scent description for Pink Rhubarb Sugar, it says pink rhubarb, sweetened with sparkling raspberry, and an extra scoop of sugar. So we have pink rhubarb, and I've tasted rhubarb, but it's been a long time. And there's definitely a tartness to rhubarb, and I can get a tartness in this scent. There's a little bit of tartness and quite a bit of sweetness. I think the sweetness wins out, but it's kind of like an oxymoron scent where you have both things mixing together. Now, to me, if I didn't know it was rhubarb, I'm not sure if I could tell it was rhubarb. I just know it's something tart, but I can definitely pick up the raspberry in here. It reminds me of the same similar raspberry as the sun ripened berry raspberry. So if you like that, you might also like this. And there's definitely the scoop of sugar, and I think that's often what rhubarb needs in baked goods because it can be very tart. So when you warm this, it comes across as a very sweet, tart, red raspberry, and the rhubarb kind of smells a little bit like, I would say more pomegranate or cranberry. And there's actually a dusty note that comes out later in the warming that something reminds me of that dusty note in Blueberry Rush. This does not smell like Blueberry Rush, but there's a similar note in here, so I'm thinking pomegranate or cranberry could possibly be in here with this. Who knows? I can also at times smell a little twinge of what I think might be ginger, because this reminds me every so often of Accidentally in Love. I'm not sure. That's what it reminds me of. But there's lots of scents it reminds me of. I have a bunch of notes here. Sun ripened berry, grapefruit and grenadine, rainbow sherbet at a lesser intensity, Accidentally in Love, rock and ruby raz, a lot of fruit medley scents, heavy on raspberry. So let's talk about performance. When I first warmed this, I decided to try it in my open layout, which I usually never do because I say you should always warm it in a testing zone. And it did okay. I would say 6 out of 10 in the open layout. I left it going for 8.5 hours and I had to go out for a little bit. When we came back, I tried it again for about 3 hours and I just couldn't pick it up when I came back and turned it back on. It might have been that it just lost its oomph or it lost its momentum because I turned it off. But yes, about 12 hours in the open layout at about 6 out of 10 to start. Not too bad. I took 2 cubes and warmed it in Ryan's room because he really liked this scent. It did a little bit better there, 7 out of 10. He has a very small bedroom. And I left it going 3 days, 45 hours because the bedroom was kind of keeping it contained. It was keeping it contained. So I think it would do better in bedrooms, and I'm not sure if people are going to want to warm a scent like this in bedrooms, but anyway, if you're someone that you want to pick up Pink Rhubarb Sugar, I think it's going to work great in the spring and summer, but you could probably also sneak it in fall, winter, because I think this would mix really nice with a bakery. You could almost mimic a rhubarb crisp. And like I said, I would stick to small to medium enclosed spaces if you want a stronger scent, and if you don't mind a slightly lighter scent, you could try it in your open layout, but it might be light. Might be too late. There's fighting. One thing I would like to say about this, it's kind of average to me. It's not a terribly unique scent. We've seen scents like this before. It's kind of hard to reinvent the wheel over and over with fruity berry scents, but they did a nice job with the packaging. I really like the packaging, and I think people are really going to like this because I think it's definitely one for a fruity lover. I'm not huge into fruity scents, so that could be why scent appeal is slightly lower for me. Will I be repurchasing Pink Rhubarb Sugar? No, I don't think I will. Every so often I do pick up one more bar to give another shot, but I probably won't. But it's not a bad scent, just not a Patricia scent. And performance is about average. So that is pink rhubarb sugar. Okay, so let's talk about our second place scent for the week. It is Summer Moonlight. This is a pretty, almost like a mauvey pink. And this one had 26% of the vote. I should say more of a mauvey purple. On Cold Sniff, it's about a light to a medium light. And Scentsy has put this in the fruity category. And it's also a new release. The scent description is, fresh strawberries sparkle alongside sweet pea and shimmering sandalwood. So if I didn't know there was strawberries and sweet pea, I wouldn't be able to pick out those notes. But when you tell me, I'm like, okay, yes, it's definitely a fruity, floral type scent with a special body care twist. It's shimmering, and it reminded me of a summarized version of a couple of other scents when I smelled it. So this is almost like a summer version of a scent, something like Blizzard Berry or Snow Kissed Cranberry. Both are like soft, pretty fruit berry scents that have a little bit of a body care twist, and that's what I get out of this. Now, one of my viewers mentioned a scent. She said it smelled a lot like this scent, and I smelled them side by side, and she's right. It smells quite a bit like Bora Bora Blossom. Now, this does not have the body care note that this has, but it has the fruit floral base that this has. So if you like Bora Bora Blossom, maybe pick up Summer Moonlight, and you can do your own little cross comparison. I haven't worn Bora Bora Blossom yet, but it does have a shimmery kind of special twist from that sandalwood. So the sandalwood reads more of a feminine, perfumey characteristic versus in some sense it reads a little bit more masculine. So I think it depends what it's paired with. If it's paired with fruity, floral type things, it's going to read a little more feminine. So I describe this written down as a luxurious, soft, feminine, fruity, floral, body care, body spray type scent. And on first sniffs, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I was hoping to love it when I warmed it. So let's talk about the warming. I took 2 cubes and warmed it in my daughter's Erica's room. She has a Moon over Jupiter warmer. It was only about 5 out of 10, and it took quite a few hours to build to that. So I left it going about 3 days, 40 hours, but she did kind of mess up my testing as she usually does. Someone suggested I put a sticky note, and I should really do that. But it was one of those scents that you're like, I can't really smell it. And then you get close to the warmer, you're like, oh, I can smell it. It's so nice. And then later you'd be like, I can't smell it again. And then you're like, yes, I can kind of smell it, but it's very faint. So I decided, well, I'm going to put it in my room because I'm in my room a lot and I'll be able to, get a better feel for it. So I put it in my room. And again, in my room, it was like 5 out of 10. And I have my little winter stag, and he's a good little performer. I love that warmer. When you're in the room, you definitely lose it. Then you leave. When you come back in, you can smell it at a light intensity. It's not strong, but it's very beautiful. So I left it right now in my room. We're at hour 30, and we're on the second day, into the second day. I do really like it, but I do find it not room filling. It's not satisfying me the way I want. So I took 3 other cubes yesterday and decided to put it in Drew's room, and I thought, just because Drew needs a wax change. Thank God I did that, because Drew's room was a totally different story. A lot of things throw very well in Drew's room. This did very well, 7.5 to 8. I couldn't believe the difference. I was like, am I warming the same scent? Now we've had some really cold weather the past few days, and so a lot of the bedrooms on the upper floor are kind of quite cold, but Drew's room is down on the main floor, and we have in-floor radiant heat there, and it's nice and warm, and this just friggin' killed it in the warm room. So again, we're on the second day, hour 30. Right now, it's about, down there, I'd say it's about 4 or 5 out of 10. But it's so pretty, and thank God I warmed it there. So like I said, if you like Bora Bora Blossom, or you like body care berry type scents, like Snow Kissed Cranberry, Blizzard Berry, but you can extrapolate that into a spring and summer scent, then you're gonna wanna try this. And I think you wanna really pay attention to the temperature of your house if you do not get good performance. You may need to warm this at a certain time of the year. I have a few scents like that. The first one that comes to mind is Peach and White Amber. I need to warm that in spring or early fall, because if it gets too cold, I can't smell it. If it gets too hot, I can't smell it. This might be one of those scents for me. And if you have struggles with this, I suggest you put it aside until the temperature either slightly warms up or slightly cools down. but mainly stick to small enclosed spaces so you can enjoy it and it will seem a little bit more noticeable to you. And one thing I would like to say is I hope Scentsy brings this out in body care. This scent screams body care to me. I'll buy it in all the things, but will I be repurchasing this in wax? I might buy one, but I'm definitely going to pick it up in room spray, and I want to pick it up in a scent circle and give those a try. Really beautiful scent. Just might have to fiddle, so it's a little bit frustrating, but it's worth the frustration. That is Summer Moonlight. Okay, so let's talk about our third place scent for the week. It is Coconuts for Coconuts, and this is a pretty yellow colored wax with a brown and white front, so I like when they do that. And this one had 20% of the vote. On cold sniff, it's about a medium to a medium light scent, and it's a new release in the spring summer, and Scentsy has put this in the fresh category. The scent description says, an ocean breeze weaves along a coastline lush with wild coconut and tiare flower. So this is a very nice scent, but it does read a little bit like a suntan lotion, a coconut-based suntan lotion, or a sunscreen. I love this. I love this. The ocean breeze does not smell like salty sea air. So if you're not a salty sea air fan, then keep that in mind. It smells like the sweet freshness of being alongside the ocean before you get really close to the ocean. Now, it talks about wild coconut. You can definitely smell coconut. In my opinion, it's called Coconut for Coconuts. It actually doesn't have as much coconut as you would think, considering the name. But you can definitely smell a coconut. It's not really an edible coconut to me, more like a body care coconut. And tiare flower could be doing that because that is a floral. Let me read you what it says. I looked it up. It says a rich, creamy, sweet perfume type floral, reminiscent of tuberose. And Polynesian women put the tiare flower behind their right ear as a symbol of being single. So interesting. But the way I look at this scent is it's a little bit creamy. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit coconut. It's a little bit like tropical in nature. But it reminds me of you're going to the beach and you're walking along a boardwalk, but you're still quite a far away from the beach. You just kind of enter onto the boardwalk. And there's the little grass is waving, but there's little florals and you're smelling that floral. But maybe one or two people ahead, someone's like, you know, they kind of slacked off, forgot to put their sunscreen on 20 minutes in advance. So they're putting it on as they're approaching the beach. And you're kind of getting whiffs, sweet whiffs from them. And you're getting excited because you know you're going to have a good day. That's Coconut for Coconuts to me. It puts me in a good mood. And it actually kind of reminds me a little bit of this scent. It's kind of beat up, but it reminds me a little bit of beach. Beach is more tropical fruity, and this is more fresh coconut. And this is more like fruity tropical coconut. But they have a little bit of similarity to them. So I think if you like beach, you should probably pick up Coconut for Coconuts. If you dislike beach, you might still want to give this a try because it is different enough. Now, let's talk about performance, shall we? I put this in Drew's room to start one morning. I put it in the same morning that I did pink rhubarb sugar in the open layout. So I'm laying on the sofa, and all of a sudden, I can smell something. And it is this. This thing was booming out of Drew's room. A strength and throw was easily 8.5 out of 10 in his room. I left it going 2 days, 46 hours. This thing did really, really well in Drew's room. So I'm like, Drew's room is just killing it this week. I thought if it did so well in Drew's room, let's put it in the open layout. I actually had an extra bar because in our world tour kits, that world tour is very hard to say, but in the kits that they sent us, we had 3 additional bars. So I had enough luxury, I could melt the whole bar. So I put 5 cubes in my open layout. It did okay. It was about 6 out of 10 there. And I left it going a total of 13 hours. Now, at the end of that 13 hours, I had a meeting, a Zoom meeting, and I came out of my bedroom here, and there's a pedway right outside this door, and I was like, oh, I can smell coconuts for coconuts. And because sometimes you lose it throughout the day because you're in it. You're in the area, and you think, I can't smell it anymore. But it just took a little 1 hour separation for me to reacquaint with my love. So yes, it was really, really nice. It didn't boom in my open layout the way I was hoping, the way it did in Drew's room, but it did well enough that I will definitely repurchase this. So yes, if you like beach, or even if you like scents like Mahalo Coconut, because they're not the same, but they're in that family of tropical, floral, fruity, fresh, coconut type scents, then you're probably going to want to pick this up. And I would say, obviously, it's a summer month scent if you're a seasonal melter. And you could probably warm this anywhere, and it would just be a little bit lighter in an open layout. In general, this scent kind of took me by surprise for its performance. I really thought it was going to be light, but it wasn't. It was about at least a medium to a medium plus. And will I be repurchasing this? Yes, I'll probably purchase it in all the things: wax, room spray, and scent circle. So that's coconuts for coconuts. Definitely my favorite this week, for sure. So now we are moving to the portion of the video where I draw the scents and you guys get to know what you're going to be voting on. So if you're new to my channel, you're going to vote for 2 different scents by early Wednesday morning down in the YouTube comment section. And if you cannot comment on YouTube, find my Instagram post, it's Patricia Gates, and put your 2 votes there. I will be warming 3, but you only vote for 2. Scent number 1 is Plumeria Peach. That is a returning scent of the month. I think it was from April of last year. Scent number 2, a new release, Clementine Cupcake. Scent number 3, a new release, Appletini Splash. Scent number 4, a new release, Pineapple Mango. Scent number 5, a new release, Shoreline Drive. And scent number 6, the last one is the last new release, scent number 6, Daydream Oasis. So I can't wait to see what you guys vote for. I have a feeling we're going to set a record this week, but we'll see. So if you're new, please consider subscribing. If you like this kind of video, give me a thumbs up. I'd like to wish you a great day in your neck of the woods. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.